Hi and welcome to another battle report. This is 2500 points between Wood Elves and Bretonnia. As for his deployment, he have 10 Way Watchers with a hero level Way Watcher in it. Then he have some 10 scouts. Then he have vanguarded forward 6 sisters with his level 4 and BSB in it. Then he have another unit of archers with Truthlight arrow and he's level 2 and a Way Watcher special character in it. Then the white thing over there is his forest, is a venom ticket. In the venom ticket he have some wild riders. Behind them he have 2 units of archers, and behind that forest is another, just an ordinary forest with 2 eagles in it. As for my own deployment, this is after Vanguard. I have a trebuchet, then 2 units of mounted yeomen, then some archers with flaming arrows standing in that ordinary forest. And for my lances, first I have a realm lance with 12 knights in it, and my BSB with 1 upgradable armor save, and then 2 normal paladins, no equipment at all except for lance and shield. Then I have 12 more Knights of the Realm with my General, Heroic Killing Blow and Heartwood Lance in it, and 2 Paladins in that unit, and one of them which have the Ruble Goblet. And then I have 12 Knights of Errants with my level 4 of Beasts in it, with the Crown of Command and a Dispel Scroll. Then behind that hill I have 5 mounted yeomen and some Pegasus Knights which have vanguarded, and another trebuchet in the corner. As for spells, I got the Pelt, the Spear, Savage Beast and Wild Form. His level 4 is a level 4 of High Magic. He got Hand of Glory, Soul Quench, he got Arcane Fortune and Fiery Convocation. His sisters have 2 spells. They have Seal of Horns and the Curse, and he have a level 2 of Shadow with Malkoff and Enfeebling 4 for his spells. Since I want the blessing, I give him the first turn and he moves up like this. He takes his 2 character from his archer unit and put them in the scout unit, so the scout unit now have the special character and he is level 2 of death in it. On his other flank he doesn't really do much. He moves his eagle a bit and then he takes his wild rider a bit back into the forest. His magic doesn't really do a lot. He used the soul quench to kill one of my mounted yeomen, and he uses the curse on my lord lance. His shooting is much worse. He killed one of the mounted yeoman units, which make the other one panic and move through the forest, and losing one to dangerous terrain test. That causes a panic test on my trebuchet, so it panic and cannot shoot next turn, which is an example of bad placement of my trebuchet. His sister managed to take down 2 of my archers. One of the Wood Elf archer unit in his poison forest shoot at my realm lance with my BSB in it and managed to kill one of them. And the other unit in that forest killed 3 of my mounted yeomen on the other flank, but I passes my panic test thanks to that the Pegasus Knights are so close, so they got a leadership 8. As for my turn, I move up like this. The reason why I move up so carefully is the fact that my Lord Lance have the curse on them, so I just push them up a little bit. I put up my yeoman over there, so if his wild rider shot them, they will overrun into my Lord's Lance, and the Pegasus Knights is pretty far away from his wild riders. My magic pretty much doesn't do anything, but my trebuchet managed to land a rock on his middle unit of archer in the forest and kill 7 of them, but they passes their panic check, and my archer didn't manage to kill anything at all. As for his turn number 2, he takes his eagle up there to block my BSB lance from doing anything next turn, otherwise he doesn't really move a lot on this flank. On the other flank he moves a little bit more. He takes his scout and way watcher and move them further away from my lance, and he takes his sisters to move them a little bit closer to my line. In the magic phase he managed to get the arcane spell of my BSB, but he didn't manage to take my Sika ward save, and he destroyed the enchanted shield. And otherwise his magic don't do much. As you can see on this picture, the archer unit is missing, and that's because they failed a panic test because of the yeoman run off the board. It doesn't matter that they have leadership 8 from the knights, they failed it, and they failed a reroll too, so they run a bit. As you can see, my fast cav unit is missing, and that's because one of his archer unit shoot them down. I also lose some of my knights in my BSB lands from shooting from way watchers and scouts and other stuff. As for my turn 2, my archers rallied. This is just a picture to showing that I took my BSB lance into his eagle. I have a really good magic phase, so I get off both the pelt and savage beast on my BSB, and also a amber spear on one of his archer unit in the forest over there and killing 2 of them. And in shooting phase I don't do anything, and this is after combat. I reform my BSB's lance like this to face that flank. And for his turn number 3, his wild rider is failing a frenzy check and have to charge the closest unit, which is the lord's lance, and he fails it, so he end up like that. He also have the gleaming pennant banner, and he also fails the reroll, and he takes his eagle to put them behind the wild rider, so if I overrun I will just overrun into the eagle instead of his archer. On the other flank he doesn't move very much, but he takes his sister into the forest, and also he gets a ambushing unit next to my trebuchet far away from my line. But the joke's on him because my trebuchet managed to explode before he could charge it. In the magic phase he get off soul quench on my Pegasus Knight, which kill 1 of them, and 1 of them takes 1 wound, and they fail their panic test, and they run into the marsh and loses 1 to dangerous terrain test. And this is the beating my realm lands taken. The BSB has suffered 1 wound from his sniper special character, and I have only 3 paladins and my standard bear and a champion left. And for my turn number 3, I take my remaining of my BSB lands into his scout unit. In his standing shoot he managed to kill all of my realm knights, and in the combat I actually win this combat by killing some scouts and feeding his special character 1 of my paladins. On this picture you don't need to mind the wood elf. This is just showing that I move up my errant lance a bit, and in the magic phase I get off a amber spear and killing 2 of his way watcher, and the trebuchet really fails to do anything. And the reason his sisters ended up over there is because I charged them with my archer unit, and I hoping for a wild form on them. I get a flank and toughness 4, strength 4, so I could possibly take a lot of points, but he uses his dispel scroll to stop that. So this is after his movement phase. He just turn up his sisters, and he have moved up his ambushing riders over there. This picture is just showing me that I killed some wild others and they break and I didn't catch them. Run into the eagle, kill it, and then overrun into his archer unit and loses some knights to dangerous terrain test. I actually have lost one of my paladins when the wild rider charges them. For his turn 4, he moved his Waywatcher a bit closer to my Knights of the Errant, and he flank shot my BSB's units with one of his archer units. This is after the combat with my Realm Lance and one of his archer unit. I kill them and I reform like that. And in the other combat I challenge with my BSB against his special character and we don't do anything, but my paladin kills some scouts and actually it's enough to break his other wolf unit so they flee, but the scout unit is stubborn thanks to his special character and they stick around. For my turn number 4, my Errant Lance charges his Waywatcher and they choose to flee and end up like over there. My Realm Lance charge into his Wild Riders and break them and overrun into his Remand unit of archers. I didn't really manage to do anything in the shooting phase or the magic phase, but in this combat I win, but he sticks around, and my BSB put one wound on his character and the horse put another wound on his character, so I only have one wound left. And for his turn number 5, he moves his sisters up there and he is ambushing fast cav. He moves closer to my trebuchet. His Waywatchers rallies, and in the magic phase his sisters get of Shield of Horns on his scout unit, which managed to heal up a wound on his special character. By doing so he also causes a miscast and loses 2 of the sisters. As a result of that, the spell itself doesn't really damage my unit anything. This is the only picture of my turn 5, but not much really happened on my turn 5, so it doesn't really matter. My Realm Lance with the Lord in it have killed his archer and reform and charge his sisters in the back, but they chose to flee and ended up close to the table edge, and then they redirect her into his archer, which also chose to flee. And in my magic spell I dispel his Shield of Thorns, and the most important thing, I actually break his unit, because in the combat he actually killed my BSB in a challenge, but my paladin kills his level 2 sorcerer, so I win combat by 1, and it's actually lucky that I didn't kill his unit champion, because if that character is alone he is unbreakable, and now he was just stubborn and he rolls double 6 and flees, and for pursuit range I roll a double 6, so I caught him and got a lot of point there. And for his turn number 6, his sisters rallies and his archer rallies, and he takes his fast cav into my trebuchet, which only have 1 wound left from all the shooting of his bows, and of course the result of that combat is pretty obviously he will kill me at autumn, so he got 90 points from that. And this is what remains of my Errant Lance. He managed to kill every single Errant Knights, and in the shooting I actually managed to shut down his magic phase because I have a scroll left, and he used all of his dice on the fire convocation, which I used the scroll too. And as you can see, my level 4 has taken only 2 wounds, so she still has 1 wound left. And for my turn 6, I don't have any charges to do, and I don't want to risk casting any magic, so that's it, the game's over. And I would just want to point out that he have a really cool looking army, and the picture don't really do justice to that, and you can't really see all this cool detail on his unit. And it was a very interesting game, and it actually ended up being a draw completely. We actually have exactly the same amount of victory points. So that's it, it's a draw. Thanks so much for watching.